Selesnya Angels versus 6 Prey. 6 Prey. Okay. Yes. I'll even kick it off with an Elves, because then I have turn 2 Apparition if I need it. And yeah, this next can be white. That means I can't play Bishop on 2. Oh, I can even. I can. Well, that changes this ordering here. Because Brushland on turn 1 into Plains would have also enabled me to play the Bishop. Alright, so the opponent is for sure some Convoke deck, I think. So what do we do now? I think the Bishop is actually fine. Kayla needs 5 mana for a 2 effect of 2x, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. So I might want to wait a little bit longer before I do that. I don't see the reason to Apparition here yet, so I'll just do this. And just stay on the defensive, and then next turn I will Kayla. And then I think hopefully from there I should be able to take over the game. Now the opponent is probably looking to go wide, which my Skyclave Apparitions are not really suited well to deal with. However, my Kayla should probably find some crazy stuff to make my board so overwhelming and my life gain so overwhelming that... Yeah, see, they're going wide. Yes, I knew it, and it's nothing new. Alright. Okay, so, I will take the Apparition. Get rid of at least one of these things. And did gain a little bit of life. Should we start attacking? Nah. Nah. Deals X damage to each opponent. Alright, good. Alright, more white. Let's play more angels. Gain even more life. Play a 3/3. And this time I will start attacking, I think, in the air for 4. Why not? Should be okay. Next turn, that makes this next turn lethal in the air. So the opponent has to kill me now. So I'm also able to make a big board here, I must say. Shall we? Let's just block with an elf. Kind of as a chump blocker here. Interesting, they're playing? Yeah, okay, they're just playing this to show me their hand. Okay. Alright, yeah. Selesnya Angels doing its thing, making boards that are wide and big and gaining a bunch of life. The Valkyrie, the key here, because as long as you have 27 or more life, all your creatures get +2/+2. And yeah, this time it was Kayla's Reconstruction instead of the Collected Company that really kicked things off. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Selesnya Angels versus F. Carnero. Yeah. This works fine. Swifty. Okay, they're missing second land. So, oh, I could apparition away the Leyline. The Leyline or the Swift Spear? I'm not sure which one, to be honest. It's a tough choice. Tough choice. Like, if I take the Swift Spear and then they just have another one, I'm gonna go for the Leyline, honestly. That's... They are looking for land. They found the land, okay. Definitely not gonna block. Scan. Another apparition, that's actually pretty nice against the scan. Start attacking back, and then hopefully draw into some Valkyrie or Bishop or something that gains me a bunch of life. Gain at least, well, gain 1 life, draw a card. And actually dealing more damage than the opponent is. So I think taking the Leyline was not too bad of a choice, at least. Gonna block the Slake Shot here. Because I know the Slake Shot only gets +2/+0 every time. It's not prowess. Okay. Well, not trampling either, so this is a pretty good trade in my book for me. Preventing 6 damage there. I mean, they do get the manifest, but that's fine. Oh, and getting rid of the rage? Are you sure? Alright, next turn I can start giving this thing +2/+2 and lifelink attack, and then I'll get the 4/4 angel just from this itself. Right? 5 or more life. Yeah, so this can trigger itself if you pay 6, which I can pay. So I hope all I need to do is survive until then. I'm gonna block here now, one of these, to be honest. So I might take some damage. Or I'm going to take quite some damage here. Is it going to be enough to be lethal? If it's not, then I think I have a decent chance here. Three. Wow. Okay. I think it's lethal. It is exactly. It's exactly lethal. So I would have had to block the Slick Shot show off, but then I wouldn't have been able to get back at the opponent. So, all right. Yep. Got beat by Rakdos aggro. Fair enough. I think I made the right plays though. I just was lacking a little bit more life gain, I think. That's what I was missing here. But that's okay. On to the next game. Selesnya Angels versus Initiate Huanye. Yeah, it's slow. but Kayla is strong, and I need... I don't want to play it before 5 mana, really, right? So that's definitely something to be wary of. Not gonna block, so it's again red, so we might need to Kayla for 4 if I can't find anything sooner. The apparition is pretty good here to have it, to stall a little bit. Alright, opponent is thinking which pump spell to use? No. And what? Oh, that's a sorcery, yeah. Of course that's a sorcery. So getting rid of their Swift Spear and now attacking. Alright, and next turn I can Kayla for 1, which is not ideal, but it's not too bad either. But actually now I'm just going to play the Mystic, and I'm only going to attack with the Giada. Actually, do I think they're going to flash something in? No, I don't. And next turn I can play Kayla's Reconstruction for X equals 2. Right? Wow. I'm thinking about playing this to take out the ley line, but honestly, I think doing this is just gonna be better. Especially now it's X equals 3. And this is a good mix. Yeah, there's no way. That was the perfect mix of life gain, pumping all my creatures, drawing a card, like everything. That was just, yeah. Okay, but the opponent, like, for being mono red, that wasn't a terrible start for them. They didn't really do much at all. So, yeah, got back at a red deck for the loss before. So got one back against that deck. Or red-based aggro decks, so good. This is how it should work. Let's keep going. Selesnya Angels versus Zendikari. So the Angels deck, I think the worst matchup is probably this is a risk, but I'm gonna go keep it because of the opponent going first. What I was going to say is probably Azorius Control is the worst matchup for this deck. Okay, that was a good draw. Because they can counter the good stuff. Alright, what are we going to do now? Bishop or the Angel? I'm going to set up the Bishop.
Hands off.
Okay, the opponent's mono green Devotion, so they can potentially do some crazy things pretty soon. They need Nykthos though. I just found myself a Skyclave. Or do I want to go for company? Skyclave. Yeah, let's do this now. Reduce their devotion a little bit. Alright, so they're full devotion, but nothing to make of it. So we are good. And now wait, Kayla is for X equals 2. Actually, yeah, everything has to attack. Wow, losing the Kiora for them is... This is probably
Tides
over now.
always rise again.
I'm gonna keep up the company. Okay, yeah. Too many guild pacts, that doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, this is crazy. 2 of these angels. I'm gonna get so many angels next turn. I'll even offer the trade between the mystics. Oh, and every angel is now gonna give me 8 life as well. So, yeah, this is GG. So the opponent did have a Leyline and a Kiora, so a decent start. But yeah, they weren't able to capitalize off it. And that's the thing about the mono green devotion deck, in my opinion. I tried it once or twice. So like I've given it a couple of shots, but I don't know. It seems that it's sometimes like it either wins very like strongly, clearly, or it just kind of stalls and loses to itself. It's kind of a hit or miss deck, I think, depending on what you draw into or what your opening hand is. But anyway, this run is about the Angel deck, and that was a decisive victory. That's what I want to say, decisive victory. So let's go head on to the final game of today's run. Selesnya Angels versus Prominent Pioneer Profundum. So we have a Bishop on 2 or a Giada on 2, which doesn't really ramp into much more, unless I don't draw the 3rd land, in which case Giada will be my 3rd mana for the good 3-drops. But we shall see what we draw into. But definitely a keep first, and then a tap, playing this tapped. Okay. Well, now I did draw into the next land, so let's play the Bishop. Let's start gaining as much life as we can. Okay. So what this means is I'm gonna go for the Valkyrie now, because that's also a form of life gaining. That into this is gonna be nice. They need removal here. They're not getting through here, even past this Valkyrie. So that was a good play, and we're stalling them nicely here now. I can't play 2 things in one go, so let's play this. I'm gonna go attacking, because I don't want to block, to be honest. I don't want to run into some weird combat trick, maybe. I don't think they have a lot of those, but next turn I'm just gonna gain... Wait, next turn... I wish I had 1 more land, because then I can gain 2 from this angel and 3 from this angel and trigger both Resplendent Angels next turn, which is definitely gonna end the game. Otherwise... So give me a land, please. Or... Or a company. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked here. I could have blocked better, actually. A Bishop of Wings is fine. Actually, this is perfect. Because this Bishop will and this Giada will be the real life gain here. Yeah, we gained enough life for the Angel to trigger. And regaining so much life here again. I'm going to attack only with the Resplendent Angel, because this thing is a pretty decent blocker. And now that the Angel's going to trigger and create a 4/4, which also is going to gain me so much life. And everything's now bigger because I have more than 27. Yeah, this is probably going to be GG. And I can throw my most expendable creatures down as blockers, such as Giada, the Angel token. Alright, not too bad. So, reducing the size of my army here. Alright, so let's block this. Let's block this. Let's block this. So I think I lost one thing and they lost one thing, and I'm still kind of winning on the board. I think would have my next turn attack would have been lethal. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, if I had drawn one more land, activated this, I think it would have been lethal. But yeah, okay. Angels, yeah, the life gain too much for the human deck. Alright, going 4-1 today, Selesnya Angels. This seems to have become my go-to Pioneer deck, or one of them, because I think it's just super consistent. But more on that in the recap. Alright, Selesnya Angels 4-1 today in today's run. What do we have? What makes this deck so superb? Well, we have the Mystics and the Elves are here because the decks... A lot of the deck is 3 mana, so these are very important to get you there. You have a lot of dual lands because you want white for everything but the Llanowar Elves. And on turn 3 you need double white often as well. So that's why playing a Branchloft Pathway on turn 1 is usually the worst situation, unless it's the only way you can play the Elves. Otherwise, you always want to use the dual lands because the majority of the game you want as much white as possible. And sorry, of course, the Collected Company is also green, so that's the only other card. But what's the engine of the deck? So the engine is definitely the Righteous Valkyrie for life gaining, because every other angel or cleric that enters, you'll gain life equal to that creature's toughness. And more importantly, once you have 27 or more life, everything will get +2/+2. So this is your pump. Like your anthem effect. The other one is the Resplendent Angel, which whenever you gain 5 or more life in a single turn, at the end of turn you create a 4/4 angel. So this just expands your board with 4/4 flyers, which is very amazing as well. So these are kind of the payoff cards. And how do you get there? Well, the Righteous Valkyrie is crazy because it's a payoff and it's a life gain card as well. So this one is like the MVP here, I would say. The Bishop is the other one. It's an early, two mana, so ideally played on turn 2. A 1/4 decent body, can also potentially block here and there. And whenever an angel enters, you gain 4 life. So the Giada entering, the Overseer entering, the Valkyrie, the Angel, everything entering will gain you 4 life. So this will help you trigger things like the Resplendent Angel or the Anthem effect of the Valkyrie. Giada is just an efficient 2 mana 2/2 flying vigilance, already pretty good stats. But every other angel that enters will enter with additional counters. So this kind of grows the size of any angels that will enter the battlefield after you play her. And she can ramp a little bit if needed. So yeah, that's the real package. So it's basically just a 1, 2, 3, 4 angels and a cleric and some elves to assist. And you have a core spirit, which unfortunately, if this was an angel, that would be so crazy, but it's not. But still, you want this because you do need some kind of interaction with opponents' decks here and there. You cannot just rely on your own board. Sometimes you do need to remove something. So that's why this is in there. And you can see everything is converted mana cost 3 or less. And that has this obvious reason. Because this deck runs 4 Collected Companies and 4 Kayla's Reconstructions. So this is instant speed. This is the one you prefer in the early game, because it's 4 mana and you will always pick 2 creatures with 3 or less, and it's instant. And then you'll pick any of these that you hit, and usually there's always some kind of nice combination which will make your board very strong. The Kayla's Reconstruction, on the other hand, if you played for 4 mana, you'll only be able to grab 1. How much? The Collected Company looks at the top 6, and this looks at top 7. So Kayla for 4 is just picking 1 out of the top 7 and putting it on the battlefield, which is not the ideal situation. You usually want to play this for 5 or 6. Or as much mana as you then have, basically, because then this starts becoming more and more powerful. So in the mid to late game, this thing can create a board out of nowhere. And the boards get fast, big real quick, wide real quick, and they bring a lot of life gain with it as well. So yeah, this is the Angel deck. As I said, I do like to fall back on this when playing some Pioneer. It's very reliable. It's very strong. Because against other creature decks, your board just is often, your creatures are bigger and you have life gain. Against control decks, you have Collected Company and Kayla's Reconstruction, which can refill the board very quickly. So yeah, despite not having too much interaction with the opponent's decks, except the Skyclave Apparition, this deck, in my opinion, is able to go toe-to-toe with the majority of the decks that are currently around in the format. So it's definitely a recommendation from my side. Yeah, so let's see. Let's look at Collected Company. Survivors who stay together, slay together. And on that note, thanks for watching. Have fun. See you in the arena, and peace.